Hello and welcome to today's daily pick a card tarot reading for August 17th, I believe, Tuesday, or whenever you're watching it. You can pick whichever card is speaking to you. I'll go through what I see in the imagery, but if you get a different message or anything like that, please share what messages are coming to you through the cards in the comments below. Okay, we'll start with this card on the left here. You chose this. We had the Seven of Swords in reverse. Okay, so Seven of Swords is about sort of sneakiness, and maybe that's something that would need to be done, but in reversed, it's generally about being truthful, just telling the truth, and it's scary to tell the truth, especially when we may have had circumstances in our childhood or even today where telling the truth put you in a physically unsafe position. And so sometimes it's tricky after that when you have learned well how not to tell the truth. But sorry about that, I just got some dust in my eye. So as a kid you may get into the habit of having to not be truthful about things in order to keep yourself safe, but that can be not such a great habit to have. So if you have the opportunity today to be honest in a way that's respectful but maybe makes you nervous a little bit, maybe be open to possibly doing that today, because if you can build a life where you're always speaking honestly, that just is gonna feel a lot more rich. And the imagery in this card in particular is not a whole lot speaking to me besides the swords overhead, but in this, those sort of dangling swords are below these people, and if these swords fall off the earth, they're separated from the people anyways, so they're not going to hit them. So I think I don't think you need to be sneaky today. I don't think it's going to be dangerous. I think it might feel like dangerous, like, oh, these swords are going to fall down, but they're going to fall. They're not going to hit you. You might get a little scratch, but for the most part, those are just going to fall away. So yeah, I think this card is saying be open to being honest today. Okay, if you pick this middle card, if it picked you, ooh, we've got the King of Pentacles. Holy cow, there's a lot of stuff going on in that. And the first thing that popped up to me in the background is the big Taurus figure. So what I'm getting in this imagery, actually, I'm feeling more King of Pentacles sort of solidity energy coming from this mountain rather than coming from this guy. I feel like this King of Pentacles is kind of, I don't know, whenever I see, like, I think of King of Pentacles as a strong paternal figure, but it feels like here these smaller, either small people or their kids, and they're in more of like a subservient position. So I don't think this is very King of Pentacles vibes, and he's got his hand on the sword there. So I think if there could be a call to support people around you who are a little bit who are less privileged, have less power, because when you support the people around you, you're going to be ultimately supported in the end. So I think it could be important just to make sure that people around you who are less fortunate, who may be a part of your life, there's always going to be other people more fortunate and less fortunate than us, but particularly family members or things like that, and just double checking that you're respecting younger generations, that you're not kind of too up on your high horse. And because this is not a super approving looking Taurus in the background there. So, and if you're sort of in this position where you're looking up to someone, expecting them to give you something, maybe keep an eye on what their actions have been. Maybe it's important to sort of reassess the people in your life who you're looking up to and you're looking at as paternal figures. And that's the messaging that I'm getting from this King of Pentacles today. Okay, and our last card, if you chose this one, we have the 5 of Cups. We've got 2 floating full cups. We've got these 3 knocked over. Little cherub kind of kids holding up the dress, and she's looking pretty heartbroken, or like she's been drinking a lot. So I'm not sure which one that would be. So the 5 of Cups is often about loss or losing things and losing stuff in the past. And what I'm feeling from this is this person is definitely feeling some really genuine emotion. And even though they have cups up there, they're not really accessible. So I feel like if you're in this position, like, even though we can look at this and say it looks trivial, it does look like this person is in some genuine feelings, some genuine pain. But what I don't think needs to happen is I don't think she needs to like drag these little ones along with her pain. She can go back inside and find auntie or uncle and be like, hey, can you look after the kids? I really need to fill this out. So if there's some emotional pain that you're feeling today, that could be important to really feel that, even if it seems trivial rationally, you're feeling it real deal. But maybe make sure you're not dragging along other people unnecessarily. And if you really need some help or some support, really being sure to look for that today. And if this is more of the messaging seems to resonate with you, that this person has maybe like been drinking or something like that, maybe they just been sort of drunk, and that could be, literally drunk. It's Tuesday on a weekday, or maybe it's more of just being kind of lost in the sauce. So if you resonate with that a little bit more on a Tuesday, taking a moment to sort of count your blessings, even though they may not be there on the ground with you, it could be helpful to acknowledge the sort of treasures that you do have. Okay, now we'll look at all of the cards together. So we have 7 of Wands reversed on the left. In the middle, we have King of Pentacles, or in the middle, is that what I said? And on the right, we have 5 of Cups. Okay, so right away, the sort of symmetry that I'm seeing in this is having this in the middle. I feel like this sort of balances things out. I see this person feeling hurt. It almost looks like he could have left her at the altar or something like that, and he's off doing his thing, and she's really feeling hurt by it. And I think the sort of resolution is this 5 of Swords reversed, not being sneaky about it, because ultimately you're feeling this this hurt, and or this sort of may not be you, but this may be a situation that's going on around you, that there are power figures or something like that that are in positions of power, but ultimately long term, your pride is temporary and your personal pain is temporary, but the ones who are really going to be affected by what I'm feeling like a state that you may be in is possibly young ones, or people who these could be your employees, or they could be kids, the sort of the impressions that you make are going to impact them. And it's okay for you to hurt, and it's okay for you to be wealthy as well, but they're going to pick up on your actions. And I think this Seven of Swords reversed, sort of recommending being straightforward, being honest about things. In this case, saying, hey, I've got all of this wealth, maybe I didn't want to do this marriage, but I'm not going to pretend like what I did was okay, but it's what I had to do. And then at least you can recover respect. And in this position, saying, hey, I'm really hurt by this, and I really need some space, I really need some help to deal with this emotion, is really important to acknowledge, so that you're not, dragging these kids along and making sure that they know it's not about them, this issue. So yeah, that's all pretty intense reading. And yeah, this could be personal life, this could be workspace. So if it's workspace related, just making sure the impression that you're making on others, that you're striving for honesty and not just trying to sneak things by or take advantage of people, because that honesty is something that really helps to build relationships and things like that. So maybe note today where you can be honest. All right. Thanks for checking in today. I hope those messages were helpful. Just put it back. This was the original way they were flipped. So yeah, if you had any different messages that came to you, please share in the comments below. Bye.